They say the American market is a gold mine for European entrepreneurs, but how do you stand out in the competitive landscape? I'm Christina Rubafe-Broaddus, the American Market Alchemist, and I believe that anyone can write their U.S. success story to amplify their influence and scale their impact beyond the borders of their home market. In this podcast, you'll hear inspiring stories and practical advice from American market experts and European entrepreneurs who are making an impact in the U.S. Tune in each week for a dose of motivation and tactical tips to build your influence and visibility in the world's largest market so you stand out, attract more clients, and turn your European business into American gold. Now, let's dive in. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been coaching some founders who are preparing to go into the US to meet potential partners, distributors, and clients over there to grow their business. Before we get started, quick reminder, on Monday, May 20th, I'm teaching a free masterclass on social pitching, how to answer what do you do with an answer that really wows the listener, but still feels very natural and conversational. The masterclass is on Monday, May 20th, and I will put the link below this episode so that you can go and save your spot for that. I just didn't want you to miss your chance. So sorry for that interruption. Now back to the story about the coaching sessions. So like I said, I've been working with these people for the past 2 weeks. The coaching sessions, they're really fun. They're exciting because I love this kind of work. And to help them get the most from each session, I ask each client to send me just their information that they plan on including in their pitch, if they have it, their actual pitch. And here are some of the opening sentences that I have seen. I have changed the products for anonymity's sake. Why shouldn't local book clubs have access to the same resources as cutting-edge major publishing houses? Or here's another one. The worldwide impact of inadequate nutrition is alarming, with leading health organizations linking it to 7 million fatalities every single year. Here's another example that I saw. Consider this. Which place is harder to explore? A dense rainforest or the depths of outer space? Now, you might think, but those are actually good openers for a pitch. They make me want to know more. And you're right, they are pretty good if you're doing this sort of on-stage performance pitch, like a pitch contest or something like that, where you're in front of an audience. But here's the thing. These clients aren't going to be standing on a stage before an audience. They're going to be sitting in a one-to-one meeting with their potential partner, with their potential client, with their potential distributor, and that is a totally different context. So if you're going into a one-to-one meeting, this sort of attention-grabbing, in-your-face opener is actually exactly what not to do, even though that is what you'll see in most advice that you see on what makes a good pitch. Now, we're going to look at why this approach doesn't work and how you can craft a more effective pitch for these types of intimate settings. Now, I like to say that not all pitches are created equal. And like I said, in a lot of workshops, training, advice that you find online, there is often that one piece of advice that you very often see. Something like hook the audience with a strong opener. And yes, that is great advice. If you're doing these dramatic, attention-grabbing pitches, like the ones that you might see on TV shows like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den or pitch competitions, those kinds of things. Yes, they are great for putting on a show. But if you go into a one-to-one situation with that kind of pitch, it's really going to fall flat. Yes, it's full of energy. Yes, it's maybe a little entertaining. It does get our attention. But for a one-to-one meeting, it's going to be inappropriate because it creates a disconnect between you and the person that you're talking to. Now, why is this? Because instead of creating a dialogue, it'll really just show that you're reciting a monologue that you've practiced hundreds of times, especially if you're doing it in English and that's not your native language. And going in there and just reciting something, it'll actually make you seem insecure. And that means that you're going to lose the trust of that potential client. If you use the wrong pitch, you're going to lose the opportunity, probably. The wrong type of pitch, it can really kill that business opportunity that you worked so hard to get, because getting a meeting with a potential client, that takes a lot of work. But if you go in there with this overly dramatic pitch in a one-to-one conversation, that can feel just kind of awkward and fake even. And that's even true for Americans who are quite accustomed to very bold, in-your-face presentations. But in a one-to-one meeting, again, that traditional advice on how to do a great pitch very often doesn't apply, because it doesn't create interaction. It doesn't give your client the sense that you want to listen to them, that you want to help them solve their problem, that you want to dialogue with them. No, it gives them the impression that you came in there to just kind of give your spiel, as we say in English, to deliver your speech that you have pre-prepared, and I guess assuming that you know everything about this client and their problems. But you can't know specific things about that client and that problems if you don't ask them questions and then listen to their answer. And remember that the goal of a one-to-one meeting where you're pitching something, it's to create a conversation. It's not to deliver a monologue and to go in there with this sort of blockbuster presentation. No, in a one-to-one setting, adapting your pitch, and I'm going to put that in parentheses, air quotes, as we say, your pitch, you want it to be conversational and interactive. And in fact, you probably won't even talk about you until halfway through the conversation. To begin, you're going to maybe ask questions. You're going to listen to your potential client here. You're going to really engage them in a dialogue and show that you have genuine interest in their perspective. And this is how you are going to be able to build rapport and trust, by asking questions, by listening, and only talking about what you do and how you can help them once you know what problem your potential client is facing. So that even then, when it does come time to actually deliver your pitch, it'll probably be more toned down, more conversational than a typical great pitch that you might find on YouTube or on the internet. And in a future video, I'll actually get into the very practical tips and the steps that you can go through to actually go into a one-to-one pitch meeting, have that dialogue with your potential client, get to know them, transition, and then actually deliver a pitch that you will have prepared. Of course, adapting it to what you will have learned about that client, but I'll save that for another video because it's going to be quite long, I think. But so just remember that not all pitches are created equal. You'll have your social pitch, which we will look at on Monday in that free live masterclass. This is how do you answer, what do you do in a few sentences that really, just grab the attention of the person listening, but at the same time, it still sounds very conversational and very natural. You've got the one-on-one pitch where you're going in to have a dialogue with the person before you actually pitch them, and you adapt your pitch depending on what you hear from the client. And then there is the performance pitch where you are up on a stage, you're giving a show. It's very impressive and you're almost entertaining as much as you are sharing information. So just remember, not all pitches are created equal. And the key to creating a successful pitch is taking into consideration the context, the objective, the type of interaction that you're having with that potential client or partner or distributor, and then doing the pitch that is right for that situation. All right. And that is all for today. I would love to know if you are working on a pitch or if you have questions about a pitch, and any type of pitch, really. You can put them into the comments and I'll see if I can help you out. If you want me to actually look at your pitch. You want us to go through it together. I will also put a link where you can book in with me. It's a 1 hour session, 1 hour consulting session, 200 euros plus tax. I'll be happy to take that time to look at your pitch. Remember, if you have a pitch and there is I would say 6 to 7 figure deal on the line, that is a very worthy investment so that you don't go in and just mess it up. And that's it for this week. So very much looking forward to it. Come to the masterclass on Monday, all about social pitching. And I am very much looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks for listening to the American Market Alchemist podcast. If you're ready to amplify your influence and scale your impact in the U.S. market, become a member of my newsletter community. You'll get weekly tips on LinkedIn strategy, personal branding, and digital marketing to write your U.S. success story. The link to get the newsletter is in the show notes. I'm Christina Robafe-Broaddus, and I'll talk to you next time.